Well, we're going to tell you right now. We don't have a randoms because we kind of went through the randoms. We added it to the to the regular list of things in the Fighters Corner. So we're going to jump right into the next thing that's been terrorizing the fighting game community. Street Fighter 6 coming out June 2nd, and there's already hubbub around, once again, the water cooler or the dojo. 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5? Let the discussion continue. There we go. That's really the discussion there. Like, should Street Fighter 6 be 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5? First to 3 or first to 2?
I did say on Twitter, I responded to, I think it was Angry Bird. I said to him, hey, what do you think about instead of 2 out of, I mean, we can keep it 2 out of 3, but what about 3 out of 5 matches? And his response was, Manon would be broke.
Yes. True. Yes. That's one of the key things that I've heard is a big yes, Kimberly would also be affected because if she level 3s in round 1, she has that buff for the rest of the game, and that's a completely different matchup. Well, one of the other things that also brought up is, the 2 out of 3 format is a different competitive format versus 3 out of 5, right? Like a first to 2 set is played vastly different than a first to 3 set, right? Like they're just resources that carry over, i.e. super meter. Drive meter doesn't matter. Drive meter it resets every round, so that doesn't matter as much. But super meter, all 3 bars, they continue on. That would potentially change. That could change the way certain characters are played. Tiers of 2 out of 3. A character playing the 2 out of 3 plays differently from a character in the 3 out of 5. Like that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm putting in layman's terms. So you gotta think about it that way. There's also a bunch of other things that have been brought up, right? The idea of timing, scheduling, stream schedule. All of these aspects get affected just because you've added an extra match or even an extra round, right? And I am for either myself, but what I want to see, honestly, is us try it. Is for the community to try it, and it doesn't have to go to majors right away. It doesn't have to be like, oh, this major's 3 out of 5, but this major's 2 out of 3. It's like, no, like, try online tournaments first. Let online tournaments try 3 out of 5, right? If you want to, it's up to the TO. Yeah, it's the easiest, right? It's up to the TO, right? If you do 3 out of 5, then instead of doing top 16, maybe you do top 8 only, right? Or maybe you do top 6 instead of top 8. I mean, Evo's already doing only top 6, right? They're not doing top 8 on stage no more, right? They're doing top 6. That's already a change. It's already a paradigm change. Not a lot of people seem to be up in arms about that anymore. But when it comes to this game, it's like, it's fast. The loading times are practically non-existent outside the initial one, right? Like, you hit rematch, it's like that instantly, right? There's no waiting. There's little to no downtime there. So, how much time is getting added there as well it was another aspect, but it's really, we really need to just try it out. We don't know. We can't have all the possible answers. The unknowns and such already squared away before the game is even out.
I personally would like to see it just stay 2 out of 3. I mean, learn to block, stop getting hit. Exhaustion is going to go both ways. So
it's a lot of damage, though, man. Like you have bar, you have meter. Like you could lose an easy 30-40%.
Street Fighter 4 was the same way.
But Strive is also the same, right? But Strive has been 3 out of 5 the entire time, though, right? Like
I feel like Strive is faster.
Oh yeah, Strive is ridiculously fast. You can get crushed on that.
Yeah, I kind of understand why that's 3 out of 5 because it's very, very fast paced, and I actually like the Japanese. I do like the Japanese way where they were playing Guilty Gear 3 out of 5 round. They were doing the 3 out of 5 rounds, 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. Because
I felt like that made sense to me. But and even Strive would kind of still transfer over to that same concept, and VCI makes sense like that too because nothing's really transferring over. I feel like with a game like this, unfortunately, 2 out of 3 kind of fits the motto. Maybe 3 out of 5 could work, but I personally, I don't think that's really ambiguous, and it doesn't give people the opportunity to upset as much. So I think we lose kind of like that. It's almost like form factoring it for people who are really good at long sets, and also people who play the game a lot longer, a lot more. So I kind of feel like there's this like takeaway from it, like, hey, you should just be good at the 2 out of 3. I remember Justin always saying, you know, the scariest thing to him when playing even Marvel, because it's fast paced 3 out of 5, was playing against a rando, because anything could happen in that 3 out of 5.
And you have to try to adjust that quickly, right?
Exactly. If it was 2 out of 3, there was just no, like, you know, we're getting mixed and we just lose.
Yeah,
there's no real adjustment.
Exactly. If you don't adjust by the next round, the next match is like, oh, that mix hit you again. Yeah, that's game. Like
in Street Fighter 6, for as much as I've played it, I feel like there's ways to adjust very fast once everybody starts learning the game. I think right now we're still at that phase. I think it's way too early to have this conversation with a definitive already. I think we can test it, like you said, but I think having a definitive, even me saying, yeah, it should just be 2 out of 3 is kind of a definitive, and I shouldn't be saying that. It should be, let's test it and let's kind of gauge it, not based off of just one part of the maybe the top players or just TOs. I think we have to explore it from every side. Is it helping new players get into it too? Because 3 out of 5 is kind of taxing in a tournament.
It is because like but it's both taxing, and yet at the same time also gives you the opportunity for an upset too. That's the awesome part, is like the amount of people I've seen that are like 2-0'd.
Yeah,
I've been in 2-0 situations and come back 3 straight. It's like it's great entertainment. It's great entertainment. I'll tell you that much.
I've been in some 2-0 situations in Marvel, and I'm like, damn, if only this was just 2 out of 3.
You would have 2 out of 3. I would have won, right? Or it was 2-2. Like, yeah, it's like, damn it, no, like, yeah.
But even for first, right? You know, we've all been in situations where, like, if it was just 3 out of 5, I already made the adjustments, but it's too late. So even our competitor would say the same. So it's like I said, I think it's up in the air right now, and I agree with you on we just have to test it. I don't know.
I don't think
just saying there's a lot of damage.
It can be a lot of damage, or there can be a lot of this or that and the other, but we're gonna get to a defensive point that it's gonna be fine whether we like it or not. You know, Capcom Cup and all the major top 8 events are gonna be like, we'll do 3 out of 5, you know, because they almost always do for Street Fighter 5 anyway.
Yeah,
3 out of 5.
I mean, top 8 at least is always gonna be that.
Yeah. But in a natural environment, like, I think it's just who was the first person to put it out? Was it Punk? From what I saw,
no,
Punk was one of the early ones. It was one of the early ones, though. I just seen it filter from all over the place. Yeah,
it's negative. Day negative what? 17.
17. Yeah.
And we're talking about 3 out of 5 and 2 out of 3s when we don't even have the game.
We don't even know how these grapplers are gonna fuck us up, yo. Like if grapplers fuck us up in like 2 grabs, then like, okay, hold up.
That's probably why people are gonna want 3 out of 5. But
wait a minute,
that's not an excuse. That's an excuse in my eyes.
Half of the game hasn't even been delivered to almost nearly any of us.
Yeah.
And I say any, obviously, you know, you have your crack players that are like, I know the game. No, you don't. You don't even have grapplers these days.
Yeah, you don't even know. You don't know the fear.
You don't even have boomerangs going around your neck.
Yeah, you don't got the fear, baby. Not yet. Not yet. You will, though. You will.
Yikes.
But, anyway. So 3 out of 5 versus 2 out of 3. Like, I think the definitive thing we should do is waiting, right? Test it out. Online tournaments are there. We're going to play with everybody. Everybody's going to be cross-played and connected, ready to go. You know, there's going to be unknowns that we're just not aware of, but I think that'll be our best course of action, is to honestly just wait and test it out. And there's nothing wrong with that, testing it out. If we test it out and it don't work out, that's fine. We'll stick it to 2 out of 3. But if 3 out of 5, as the game develops, becomes more of a viable thing, that's going to be a bridge we have to cross as a community. We got to make that decision, and then the TOs and such will also have to be in agreement and all that, and then it'll get massively adopted over time.
I mean, I'll definitely say this, like DNF Duel went from a 2 out of 3 to a 3 out of 5 mentality at one point, so I don't think it's uncommon. I definitely think that people should run casual lobbies as 3 out of 5 and 2 out of 3 to see what feels good, what feels comfortable. If the rotations are fast enough too, to see if it's feasible to play in these environments, right? Maybe I don't have all day. 2 out of 3 might just fit my personality for, you know, between if I'm an older person.
I've got
these other things. Right?
I've got 4 mixes. I do the first 2 on the first match. I do the last 2 on the second set. And if you block the second set, I'm done. It's over. Like you win, dog. Some people are like that. It's like, oh, you blocked that? All right, yo, GG's, man. Good stuff. We'll see you.
That's that's literally Marvel. Oh yeah, he's never getting hit. It's okay.
Yeah, like, oh shit, you blocked that shit. All right, yo. I'll see you next. I'll see you maybe in the losers, possibly. We'll see.